Hi everyone, my name is Elisa and this is my channel, My Superpower. Today's video is going to be about headbands, about twisted headbands that I've made recently, and I made them using a special fabric, the one you see here, and this one. This is African print fabric, also known as Dutch wax fabric, or I think the more general name is Ankara fabric. Because many people ask me how I did the headbands, I thought I could make a little video to show you how I did it, and maybe you can make some for yourself. I think the timing for the video is also quite good because this week is the beginning of Ankara Appreciation Week, a sewing event hosted by Lena and Juliet. I'm sure you've seen it all over Instagram. And there are daily prompts. You don't have to sew anything new for this week, for this Appreciation Week. Just show off your Ankara garments. Even if you don't have a full garment made out of Ankara fabric, maybe you want to start with a headband or maybe a fabric flower as a pin. For me, it's a way that if I'm wearing something plain, something neutral like a regular black t-shirt, I like to use a headband to give me a pop of color to brighten my outfit. Maybe this twisted headband is something you would like to try. So let me tell you how I did it. I'm going to give you the measurements I used, and that will give you an idea. You can compare to your own head measurements, and that will give you an idea if you need more or less fabric. Because my fabric was quite sturdy, I didn't feel it was necessary to use any interfacing, but if you're working with more flimsy, more delicate fabrics, I would recommend that you use interfacing before cutting your strips. I'm going to leave you with the step-by-step now. It doesn't take long at all. It's quite easy, and at the end you will have a beautiful handmade piece that you can use to add a pop of color to your outfit or to complement your Ankara garment. Very practical to use up those scraps from previous makes, and maybe you can start with the headbands, and that would be the beginning of a love affair with African print fabric. I surely hope so. This is actually all I have left from my blue and yellow fabric. I'm going to piece it together to make one last headband. Here you have the two fabric bands that we will use in the front. This is the fabric strip that we will use for the elastic casing. In this case, it's a bit wider because I'm working with fabric scraps only, so I didn't have enough length for the two pieces that go in the front. So I decided to make a longer elastic casing to compensate for that. Apart from these three strips of fabric, you will need elastic. I'm working with 2 centimeter wide elastic, and usually I would use a 13 centimeter long elastic strip. In this case, I added 2 centimeters more, so 15 by 2. Apart from your usual tools, thread cutter or scissors, thread, of course, and your sewing machine or your serger, you will also need a bodkin. I use this tool to pull the elastic through the casing, and this is a tube turner. I actually made a video quite recently where I show you how I use this tool to turn fabric tubes right side out. It's very, very easy. Go ahead and have a look at that video, and we are all set to start sewing. The first thing we're going to do for all 3 fabric strips is to fold them right sides together along the wide edge and sew this together. I just made the 3 seams using my serger, but you can of course make these headbands using your regular sewing machine for all the steps. The next step is to turn these fabric tubes right side out, and I do that using this tool, the tube turner. So now just put that seam down the middle and press. The next thing I'm going to do is to insert the elastic inside the elastic casing, and to do so I'm going to use my bodkin. Until you have reached one end of the elastic casing. And what I do is usually I just go directly to my serger and I serge the elastic onto the fabric. So the bodkin is still inside, but you can also pin and go to the other side and do the same before you go to the machine. This is what it looks like. I just serge the elastic onto the casing, and it's not important that you secure these serger threads, because you are going to encase this once again when you add the headbands. So continue to thread the elastic through the casing. This is the other end. And now I'll do the same. I'll take this to the serger and make a seam right here. And we are done with the casing. The next thing I'm going to do is to attach the elastic to the two fabric strips that go on the front. To do so, you are going to place your fabric strips on top of each other, and the seams that go down the middle are going to be facing each other. You have to put them on top of each other crosswise, like so. So, in my case, because I actually had to piece my fabric together, I actually have seams on both sides, but don't let that bother you. In your case, you will have two fabric strips and only one middle seam. So this is my middle seam and this is my middle seam. They are facing each other crosswise. I'm going to now take this strip and put the two ends together. I'm going to bring them together like so. This is the part without the seam, the outer part, so to say, and the casing also has a seam down the middle. This is the part where the seam is visible, and this is the part without the middle seam. So what you are going to do is, this is the right side up, you're going to put the right side of the casing to the right side of the headband, of the fabric band, and then you are going to make a sandwich. You are going to place the fabric around the elastic casing, like so, and then you are going to make a seam. I'm going to use my serger, but you can use your regular sewing machine. So you are going to make a seam and put the elastic and the first fabric band together. And then we will come back and do the same for the other side. We are now done with this side. So as you can see, I've used my serger. And now we're going to do the other side. That's the final step. So all you have to do is turn this around to make it easier. This here is our middle seam. So we are going to place the middle seams together like so. And take our elastic and again place the right side of the elastic casing against the right side of your band, and you have to do a sandwich again and make a seam or serge this area so that the elastic is attached to the other band. This is what it looks like once it's been serged on both sides. So all you have to do is turn it around. As you can see, the seam is now hidden by the band. Just turn it around. And there you have it, a twisted headband. That's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.